Archaeology News, how modern-day analysis would confirm the Bible's account of King Nebuchadnezzar. Daniel interpreted Nebuchadnezzar's dream. When Israel was taken to exile to Babylon, it was Daniel who was able to interpret King Nebuchadnezzar's dream. But Nebuchadnezzar was, of course, very selfish, very ego-centered and haughty. And through divine intervention, God brought him to believe that he was a cow eating grass for 7 years. Now, this is what's called in psychology as being voanthropy. This is one of the things we know from archaeology, anthropology. Patients suffer from boanthropy. He or she may well be down on all fours chewing grass. Boanthropy is a psychological disorder which the sufferer believes he or she is a cow or an ox. And the most famous sufferer of this condition was King Nebuchadnezzar, who in the book of Daniel was driven from men and did eat grass as oxen, quote unquote. Nebuchadnezzar was the king of Neo-Babylonian Empire from 605 BC to 562 BC, and according to the Old Testament of the Bible, he conquered Judah and Jerusalem and sent the Jews into exile. He was also credited with building the Hanging Gardens of Babylon. Nebuchadnezzar was humbled by God for boasting about his achievements, lost his sanity, and lived like an animal for 7 years, according to the book of Daniel, chapter 4. When his sanity was later restored, he praised and honored God. Now, aside from boanthropy, other explanations of his behavior include porphyria, a group of enzyme disorders that manifested with neurological symptoms including hallucinations, depression, anxiety, and paranoia, or general paresis or paralytic dementia, which is caused by syphilis. The porphyria is a group of rare inherited or acquired disorders of certain enzymes that normally participate in the production of porphyrins or hyaline. They manifest with their either neurological complications or skin problems, or occasionally both. Now, according to what was going on with King Nebuchadnezzar, archaeological discoveries paired with modern-day medical knowledge confirm the Bible's historical accuracy, according to a biblical scholar. Billions of people celebrate the Bible as a spiritual document, and it can be used as a tool to study history. Professor Tom Meyer, an expert in Middle Eastern languages from Shasta Bible College and Graduate School in California, is certain archaeology, biblical archaeology, can be used to validate the Bible every step of the way. In particular, there is reason to believe modern techniques can explain one of the Bible's more unusual stories of the madness of Nebuchadnezzar, the king of Babylon. Meyer said the observation of the unique medical condition and discovery of related archaeological objects could help explain one of the most bizarre accounts in the Bible, the cruel and unusual divine punishment of the famous 6th century BC king of Babylon, Nebuchadnezzar. According to the Bible, after the destruction of Jerusalem in 586 BC, at the apex of Nebuchadnezzar's power, when his heart was lifted up with pride, the God of Israel took away his royal authority for 7 years by driving him from human society. And the most famous, powerful king in the world was condemned to spend 7 years in the fields with the wild animals, eating grass like a cow, until he learned that God of Israel has power over human kingdoms, that he can give them to anyone he chooses, quote unquote. Quote. Now, by modern day standards, King Nebuchadnezzar's bizarre behavior is explained through a condition, as we said before, known as boanthropy. Vo is Greek for cow. Now, boanthropy described as a personal disorder where the person believes they are a cow or an ox. Now, it's even possible a person suffering from boanthropy could try eating grass. Professor Mayer said in 1946, Dr. Raymond Harrison of England recorded his experiences of observing a modern-day case of boanthropy. Dr. Harrison observed that the patient's only physical abnormality was the lengthening of his hair and a thickened condition of the nails, the same anomalies that beset King Nebuchadnezzar. Also, like the famous king, the observed patient spent the entire day roaming the asylum grounds from dusk till dawn, eating handfuls of grass and drinking out of puddles like an animal. And according to the Bible, at the end of 7 years, Nebuchadnezzar's faculties were fully restored, and he praised the God of Israel. There are other theories that could explain Babylonia's king behavior. Nebuchadnezzar could have been affected by porphyria, as we said before, the enzymes that trigger the building up of the chemical porphyria in the body that could be caused by syphilis. Now, the condition linking to hallucinations, as we said, depression and paranoia. Nebuchadnezzar ruled in Babylon between 605 BC and 562 BC. He was responsible for the conquest of Judah. His exploits are described in the Bible's Book of Daniel, the Book of Kings, the Book of Chronicles, and the Book of Jeremiah. Professor Meyer is also certain accounts of King Nebuchadnezzar's illness can be validated through archaeological discoveries. He said there may also be an archaeological clue that alludes to this time of period of Nebuchadnezzar's madness. Archaeologists have not yet discovered any royal decrees by Nebuchadnezzar. The Babylonian army apparently did not partake in any military campaigns during this time when he was sick, presumably because of the madness of their king. So, for the archaeological object linked to his narrative, Assyriologist A.K. Grayson published a 6th century BC cuneiform tablet found in Babylon, now displayed in the British Museum, that states Nebuchadnezzar's life appeared of no value and that he continually gave contradictory orders, could not recognize his own family members or continue in any way of his building projects. This period of madness likely took place during the 7 years that he was driven from human society, and through the data uncovered by medical and archaeological research were able to measure the Bible's historic accuracy. Meyer said in every instance where the Bible's claim can be tested, even in such bizarre accounts as the humbling of the famous Nebuchadnezzar, the Bible proves to be accurate and reliable. Fascinating biblical archaeology and medicine here. This by Sebastian Kentley on Express UK, and also Wikipedia, Nebuchadnezzar II, and also having to do with Nebuchadnezzar and Voanthropy from Pharmaceutical Journal. If you'd like to join me on my Patreon account, you will hear content not covered by mainstream media. These riveting stories will be based on my research, and I will state my opinions and give my personal insight on diverse and controversial subjects and world events not covered by mainstream media, and not supported by YouTube guidelines. So whatever I have on my Patreon, most of those will not be on my YouTube channel. Please consider becoming a member today. More of the most significant and important videos will be on my Patreon channel. Your support helps me to continue my research and keeps this YouTube channel alive. And we depend on your support, your generous charity, because we help economically challenged families here in Athens, Greece, in Kapota, and we also help the young generation with university tuition and the community around our church. Thank you.